Personally, I believe Bauer Media would be the best media institution to manufacture my magazine out of all the 4 different institutions which I researched. I think Bauer Media is the best for publishing music magazines, and it is a large European group which manages a huge portfolio of different magazines. Also having radio and TV stations which are worldwide, they cover over 300 magazines in 15 different countries. They also produce the Q magazine, which is the magazine which had a big influence on my type of magazine and structure throughout. They also have a similar genre to mine, and my target audience fits into their range. To create my magazine cover, contents page and feature article, I had to use digital technology. I had to use Adobe Photoshop to produce my final pieces. I also needed to upload my work onto a blog website which is called Blogger, which you can access on Google. I also used an SLR camera to take the photos which feature on all my final pieces. Previously, I had done similar tasks on Photoshop, so using this was beneficial for me, as I already had the basic skills to create my pieces. Although, whilst doing this project, I acquired new skills and now understand more complex stuff on Photoshop. I used the font called Levi Rebrush to craft a certain font to feature in my magazines. Then I went to the blending tools to add some effects to the font to make it stand out and make it more colourful and bold. I had to crop the images I used to make sure they fit perfectly on each page, and so they were enabled to be slotted in perfect locations. Furthermore, I cropped out the background of my picture in the magazine cover to add a simple plain looking background with a gradient effect to add a shadow looking effect. This is just a few examples of many things which I did whilst using Adobe Photoshop. I did this to make my magazine look as professional as possible, also to try and implement as many conventions to my magazine to slot into the genre I was wishing to portray to attract the primary and secondary audience. By using these tools in Photoshop, it made my magazine cover, contents page and featured article look as attractive as possible. When it came to creating my featured articles in Photoshop, it helped me implement the columns I wished for the articles using the segment tool. I was going to use Adobe Illustrator, but I believe Photoshop was more beneficial for me. As I stated earlier, I had to create a blog on a website called Blogger, which is the location where I store all my work, including my preliminary tasks, etc. In addition, this is the platform where I kept my research tasks, planning tasks, and final pieces. The main reason I use Blogger is that they have a suitable layout structured to help me set out all my tasks I completed. It was incredibly easy to share and embed videos and presentations which I created on different websites like eMaze or ThingLink. It also highly assisted me as it allowed me to create links to surveys which I created on SurveyMonkey, so I could initially get a response from my audience on their opinion on the current designs for my pieces, and if they thought any improvements or changes could be made to improve their pieces. This initially helped me broaden my audience to meet the needs of my primary and secondary audience, and anyone else who my magazine appealed to. Additionally, another reason Blogger was perfect is the fact that it saved work which I uploaded to my blog. I could edit the post whenever I wanted. In this case, if I made any mistakes, I could correct them or add any additional information. I could also create my own polls on the side of the blog, which allowed my target audience to have a chance to vote for the magazine title block, which they thought was the most appropriate for my genre.